Hey, 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 welcome back to Drive Time. I am your host, Craig Pasta Jardula, and we do it live, bringing you all the hot takes, headlines, and unfiltered opinions that matter most. Whether you're stuck in traffic, cruising to work, or just chilling at home, we want to hear from you. Today's topics are all about the big stories making waves, but we're not just here to talk at you. We want to hear your thoughts, your experiences, and your take on everything from the latest political debates to the everyday challenges we face. Remember, whether you're on the left, the right, or somewhere in between, we welcome all points of view. So grab that hands-free device, dial us up, and let's dive into the conversation. What's on your mind? It's Drive Time. Call in now. Okay, that's it, guys. So let me do this for you real quick.
You're super quiet.
What's that, buddy?
You're very quiet.
Is it the... It's got to be the...
There we go.
All right, I got the microphone up, but I don't want it so much where we got to get feedback and all that stuff. So, welcome to the show, everybody. It's going to be a long show today. Well, I don't know if it's a long show. It's going to be a lonely show. Alex Strenger will not be with us today. He can't make it. Aww. Do we have a wah, 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 wah?
I think we do. I don't know where it's at. I don't know what it's called, though.
It's in there somewhere. Whatever. But...
That one?
We miss you, Alex. We're going to miss you. But let's just get going, guys. Welcome back to Drive Time. I'm your host, Craig Pasta Jardula. Of course, this is your show where you can call on in anytime and bring your thoughts to the arena. 561-247-2721. It's 561-247-2721. Do us a favor. Give us a like. Give us a share. I know all people are just waking up now. Let's do this together. I waited for you guys. This is the first sip of coffee of the day. Sleepy, I know there's some coffee lovers out here going to be watching this show. Right, here we go. This is
it's early.
This is that, what do you call it? That Death Wish coffee. Dark roast.
It's pretty good.
What's going on? SJ Stuff.
Katie.
Look what he says right here.
Oh man, it's real early there.
Who's Haley Stevens?
Someone running. I don't know, against that. I think she's the one running against that Al Saeed guy.
Oh, okay.
I don't pay attention to much of that, so
it's in NoCal, North Cal. The way to welcome you. Wake up, SJ Stuff. Get some stuff done. I mean, it's early in California, and that's the thing. It's like a lot of my audience that I had for the years of doing this, they were in California. So it's kind of like I'm leaving them out with doing this here so early in the morning because who the heck is going to get up at 5 other than Greg, who's usually on the road, driving, whatnot. Maybe we'll get some of those late
I was
night
up at
people,
4.
You know? What's that?
I was up at 4.
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because you're a freak.
Yeah, probably.
Just kidding. I love you, Sleepy. By the way, this is the purple shirt I wore to the wedding in Peru. First Monday show back. I figured I'd wear it for you. These glasses I got online several months ago. I don't know how I feel about them. I got
kind of like
black
them.
glasses
I
with green.
I kind of like the
too.
fade on them.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like a green one. So I was supposed to get this if I have green outfits, but I don't know how they fit. The other ones I got in Peru, I got them at a little stand right in Miraflores in the park, and it literally cost me like 20 soles. I think it was 20 soles, which is equivalent to like $7, less than $7. And they were pretty awesome. They're like the black ones I have with the yellow, but they're just black with green. So I have two choices if I wear green. But it'd be funny to see how they look on the screen. I don't think the green in it was going to the green screen, so I think we're okay with that. A lot of stuff going on, but a lot of nothing going on, right? I think is the best way to say it. It's the same old shit we're dealing with.
We didn't escalate in Iran, so that's good
for the time being.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we had a couple days
for the time
of
being
getting pounded, so
What's that?
I mean, they were saying they were going to take out all their energy infrastructure, so that didn't happen. So that's a positive.
Yeah. Man. There are people with signs that say, fuck Russia, fuck Qatar, fuck Iran. I don't know what that's about. Uh, I mean, the oh God, there's a Tim Dillon video out there I'd like to play. Guys, then we're gonna make some big decisions. By the way, um, I'm thinking since I'm up high, right? So a lot of the newsy shows, you sit in a higher table, higher chair, that kind of thing, elevated. I think since this is like radio on the TV, Pasta found the comb. He did. Um, this is radio on the TV, radio on the interwebs. I'm gonna go low, kind of like the way Tim Dillon sits. By the way, let's look at this Tim Dillon clip to get the ball rolling. Um, I think this is interesting. What I did see was a lot of clips out there of people like Tim Dillon, people like Sean Ryan, people like Alex Jones, people like Candace Owens, people like Nick Fuentes, all these people who were super hardcore Donald Trump supporters now, look at them now. And this is what the Democrats are doing. They're coming from like these Democratic accounts that are getting huge numbers, right, Sleepy? So you can see that they're going to like be propping up. Like I get that our next job as independent media, which is to hold Pounder accountable, is to make sure that we are ahead of their next move. That is the ruling class. Because everything they do, they constantly are duping the people. It's all kabuki theater. And they're going to justify an attempt to make these other warmongers, the warmongers who put the rainbow stickers and hearts and flags and stuff on their, on their bombs they're more peaceful bombs that drop out. Those guys are going to be coming back into play. So I think we're going to have to get ahead of them and see that stuff. But let's pay attention to like the rhetoric now coming from I call it the populist right? Like everybody's like, Pasta, what are you talking about? Why are you going to talk about left and right anymore? It makes no sense. What's up? Good morning, Enterman Bill. Well, I don't necessarily want to talk about it because I believe that we should stay in our teams and whatnot. And I certainly identify myself as a leftist libertarian because I want to open the door to talk to people who consider themselves Trump supporters or Republicans or conservatives or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I only identify myself because people identify themselves. So I can say, okay, let's build bridges of peace this way. Technically by definitions, that's why I say, okay, I'm a leftist libertarian, never been part of the Libertarian Party. But to break the team mentality, I explain that I'm on a different team at times or a different ideology so that we can find areas of common ground and hopefully we can beat back the ruling class, right? I do believe that the divide is what Karen Kwiatkowski said on the show. It's pro-imperialist and anti-imperialist. That's the mentality out there right now. I have friends of mine, who justify imperialism, right? They're not happy with the redistribution of the resources that have been confiscated or stolen, as I like to say. And that's kind of weird. And they think for some reason in their mind that it's necessary. If we don't do this, then the other countries are going to do this. So it might as well be us. So let's do this. No. Don't like that. Don't believe that. Most of your war is about bombing women and children. I think at this point now with the videos we've seen in Gaza, that if you're going to stand behind this, you need more of a morality check. So it's interesting. But let's play. Let's see what the Tim Dillons of the world have to say. As you know, Tim Dillon got the Ukraine-Russia situation so wrong. I mean, I felt bad for the guy because at one point he had this Ukrainian guy come on his show quite early in the conflict and let him just sing, and it wasn't a great look. It wasn't a great look. But nonetheless, and this guy's gone through a lot of stuff. A lot of people listen to him. I believe he's worth listening at a time. He certainly is entertaining. But look, he's also got the low style down to the table. I'm thinking about going with that. He's at a big, giant white table. What do you guys think I should do? I'm going to switch to the low. I'm going to go low. But here he is talking about Lindsey Graham, talking about other couple other people. You're watching Drive Time in the morning. Guys, if you want to call in, it'll be a great day to call in. I am going, me and Sleepy are going by ourselves today. We have no other co-host. So you can help us out by calling us in and talking about things. I want to talk so much about COVID stuff. I really do. I mean, excuse me for wanting to talk about something that I have a lot of knowledge on. I spent a lot of time studying and stuff. But I see this stuff, the way people acted. Man, Wednesday's show on the radio, Sleepy, holy cow, that was an interesting one. We only had 4 callers. It was a 1-hour show. And the phone lines are packed each time. And one lady who called, oh my Lord, she's like, I can't believe you guys are talking about this on WBAI. Like I would have any talk about pushing back against the COVID-19, the protocols, the vaccine, all that stuff.
Let me jump in a second. I remember when Trump was running the first time, and then you got like Kamala. No one, like the Democrats, were so against that vaccine and all that shit. So what the fuck are they talking about over there at that radio station?
Yeah, until they got in the office. Until they got, and then they were like the same vaccine. Well, Trump's not behind it. And I don't take. That was some of the weirdest shit. I have been working on this article. It's called "The 10 Deadly Sins of COVID." And it's like I talked about, when you have this enormous lie, you have to have a bunch of other small lies to keep that enormous lie going. That's what COVID was. That's what COVID was. It wasn't whether it was on accident, it was time, whether it was let out, any of that shit you want to, any of the things.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter if it was if it was planned or not. They're going to take advantage of anything they can to take more control over us.
Disaster Capitalism is that book that you're kind of referring to right there. If it happened just naturally, they're going to take advantage of it. And the main thing is that they lied about so many things, and we caught them at lies in real time. I mean, right now, when you analyze COVID-19, only probably the moon landing. I don't know, 9/11 had a lot of bullshit too as well, a lot of crazy, like, that doesn't add up, that doesn't pass the smell test. But I think COVID-19 probably would be right there neck and neck with the moon landing as far as like bullshit, where the state is lying to you for certain reasons. They have an objective. They want to use whatever situation, whether it be a tragedy, an event, to their advantage, and they're going to lie to you. And that's the main thing. We got to demand they stop lying, right? I don't think we can demand that anyways. You ain't gonna stop a liar from lying in this day and age. We got to demand they go. But you know what I'm saying? Until they go, we call them out on their lies. And COVID was like that. So many lies. And when I asked the lady who was pushing back on me, well, what about this? One of the main questions I ask people to about that is, do you believe the vaccine stops the transmission from one person to another of the virus? Well, we don't know. Yes, we do know. You're giving us an uneducated guess, or you're just denying seeing the truth for what it is because it goes against your theory. So therefore, you're going to believe in your confirmation bias. The drug companies have admitted that it doesn't stop transmission of the virus from one person to the other. We know this. Yeah, but it lessens the symptoms. Okay, but that means right then and there, it shouldn't be mandated. If you want to take if you want to take a vaccine, take a vaccine. If I don't want to, I shouldn't have to. It's not going to stop the virus, from transmitting. And they told that lie. And all their little stenographers, all their little foot soldiers. Remember Rachel Maddow? Once you take the vaccine, it stops right then and there. Kills the transmission from one person. Literally on national television telling that shit. A bold-faced lie. Never retracted, never apologized. And that's the thing nowadays. If you're not going to be held accountable, once you get the lie out there, and the Trump administration just made they've mastered that technique. Get the lie out there. Get it out there.
Repeat the shit out of it.
And they're throwing us bullshit. Sorry, Sleepy. Go ahead, Bubba.
I should just repeat the shit out of it, and then people start believing it.
Yep. But that's the thing. People are looking for confirmation bias. They don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear the theory that's going to support their team. Yay! And Gabrielle Freedom, our producer of the show, is so right. It's not even a tribe anymore because good things happen in tribe. It's a fucking cult. Cultish behavior. Thank you, Gabrielle. Salute to you. And for the coffee lovers, eventually I'm going to get my ass down to Nicaragua. There's a lot of shit going on. Marco Rubio is out there saying that Nicaragua is not going to hold elections. They're going to hold elections. That's a lie. They said they're not going to allow the people who are funded by the United States to get in there. I don't know if the family's name, it's not the Samosas, because I think that was the other. They have these like oligarchic families, these rich families in Nicaragua. There's like 2 or 3 of them that the Sandinistas have had to deal with for quite some time. But we're going to find out more information, and we're going to use our connections. And I'm going to get on the phone with my friend, and I'm going to get down to Nicaragua, and we're going to do some stories on it. Because the United States empire wants Nicaragua. They don't want them to build a canal through their country. And there's a big, decent-sized lake in the middle over there that they can do that. So they get into the lake, get into the other side where, you know what I'm saying? And in that lake there, they can do a lot of things. But there are indigenous people who are living in those areas too as well that don't want that to happen. So, I mean, there's a lot of things going on. But the United States definitely doesn't want a canal to compete with Panama. They want to control maritime law, trade, and travel. So that's it. Here is Tim Dillon. And I know you're sad, Sleepy. You're all out there. You're missing Lindsey Graham. Oh, my God.
Ladybugs.
Butterfly.
Ugh.
I want to go hunting with my good friend Carl Malone, and we can go for squirrel.
The moolahs.
Guys, you know the number, 561-247-2721. 561-247-2721. I was going to play another cooking video, but I didn't get it yet. Operation Mockingbird. 5.0. Definitely. That video I saw out there with all those people, I think it was MSN Now. MSN Now was playing a video with all these. It's Mockingbird Media. They win your confidence over. Dude, for COVID, the best example was Steve Bannon. He was having on all the doctors talking, all the rhetoric. He was fucking there. All the guests, right? James Roguski, my friend, even went on that show. You know, so many people. He did great things with elections too as well, until he started leaning into, well, China did it, you know, that kind of shit. Same thing with COVID. It was China did it and stuff. But he didn't really concentrate on that as part of his talking points on the show a lot of times. I didn't watch the show a lot, but I watched the guests. Maybe that's my problem. But the guest he brought on some great doctors, got some great information out there, and but that's the thing. They win your confidence over. This is what the Mockingbird Media does. They win your confidence over, and then they steer you a different way on the overall plan. You know what I'm saying? Like they're winning your confidence to take you to a wrong destination. They don't really oppose the empire. They're working for it. Blaming China, blaming other countries, right? Everything's somebody else's fault. Even with Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes and their whole theory, it's all Israel's fault. The United States, poor little the United States, right? The victim. They're not getting anything off this. Raytheon and all these other countries, all these industries that Smedley Butler talked about in the early 1900s, they ain't making nothing like that. It's all Israel. Get the fuck out of here. Everybody wants to blame somebody other than themselves. That's so weird to me because the conservative movement is all supposed to be about individual responsibility, but none is taken when it comes to our foreign policy. All these immigrants, yeah, you're going over there and just like in Nicaragua right now, trying to put your own leader in to take the country, like you did in Colombia. It's Israel. Well, the United States ain't got nothing to do it now. It's Israel's currency they're using down there in Colombia. Oh, no, it's the United States currency they're using down there that's connected to their dollar. Yeah, it's Israel. Only Israel. Wake the fuck up, people. Love you. Drive time in the morning. Coffee is kicking in. Lindsey Graham. I'm here with Sleepy J. Come on, guys. There's 15 of you guys over there in the YouTubes, 12 in the Rumble. Go hang out with Airwaves and Entham and Bill over there. And a dingo ate me, baby. Good to see you. SJ Tough. Not SJ Stuff. SJ Tough. Anonymous hanging out over there. There's so many cool people, guys. Seeing you guys throughout the years has been so freaking awesome. Even though it's a small crowd, it's an awesome crowd. I love you guys. Call on in 561-247-2721. Where's Stacy? She's sleeping in. Somebody hit her alarm bell. Get her going. She's got to get to the show. Here we are. I love you guys.
She's in chat.
The show was laid to rest earlier in the week. And now Miriam Adelson pays tribute to Lindsey Graham and tells the story of taking him to Israel as a freshman congressman. Can you imagine Lindsey Graham's first trip to Israel as a freshman congressman? How naughty it was.
There was a mission of AIPAC, and we took freshman congressmen, Republican, to Israel, paid for the trip, donated it to AIPAC educational group, something like that.
Yeah, something, whatever.
And then we met Lindsay.
Yes.
I love to see the brain.
Interesting.
And the eyes
Yes.
are our brain.
Yes.
And they were so pure and blue.
Yes.
And what are, I mean, you
and
could
thinking
see
about peepees.
what he's
penises.
thinking about.
He was thinking
He was
about penises.
so-
He sent a dominatrix to his home, and we met Lindsay, and I look in his eyes. I go, "You want to be dominated by a man, yes?" And the dominatrix, of course, dress like a regular person when they knock at the door. You know, oh, I'm deliver the pizza, whatnot. And then the dominatrix gets out, and they tie Lindsay up, and they make him go on fours like dog, and it's amazing. And we.
Is his accent more Russian than it is Israeli right there in this particular
I
situation?
don't know, but it's pretty good.
I don't know where he's going with it, but he is going with it. This is Tim Dillon. I mean, this guy's a professional comedian. So, you know what I'm saying? It's let him go.
We donate that to Lindsay. We donate dominatrix to Lindsay.
Oh man. Oh man. That's just
As the colonel says, I hope he doesn't come out of the ground.
he might come out of the ground, zombie mother son of a bitch. By the way, I put a comment up while he was talking. This is it right here. If Israel was the problem, we wouldn't be discussing it. Clearly, Israel and the United States are doing the bidding of the true powers behind the Malthusian death cult. They are. Where's our guy? Knights of the Malta. He's not around, right? That's who he thinks the death cult is, where it comes from. Trying to link and understand its birthing, its beginning of its existence, the root problem of things, I guess. I mean, at least he's trying there. I think that's more logical than these countries right now in the modern time, in the modern day, doing whatever. So who knows? We'll just keep paying attention to what's going on. But I'm gonna give blame where blame belongs. And it does seem like, I mean, why would they be so in our face with it, right? Why would they be so in our face with it if they didn't want us to think that or understand that or believe that? You know what I'm saying? They're oh man, they're just, and they're showing all these clips and stuff too of Netanyahu, when he says you can control the United States, that clip out there. I think this is the clip right here. TRT World is playing it. I don't know, Sleepy. You tell me, is there something that is just so beneficial? I mean, it should be the obvious, right? America is something that can be easily maneuvered and moved in the right direction. Flashback from 2001 when Netanyahu bragged about sabotaging peace efforts in West Asia. You know what I'm saying? Why, in your mind, if you had to explain, would it be so, what's the word I'm looking for? Helpful to the ruling class's narrative and lies to blame Israel for everything?
Because they want a scapegoat if this goes bad. I mean, the simplest solution is generally the one.
Yeah. Sometimes the simplest answer is the simplest solution or something, right?
I mean,
Occam's razor, the simplest answer is the most.
They want to distance themselves just enough so they don't end up in gallows if shit goes bad for Israel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
in Israel, we have a caller? Wow. And
Israel,
we do. Wow. And let me say this much real quick before we take the caller. I'm going to ask you, if this happens again, just like World War II, it's not the Jewish masonry or the Jewish supremacists or the Zionists that are up top who are going to suffer the consequences. They're going to kill everyday average Jews like they did in World War II. And that's primarily why I speak the rhetoric I speak. Caller, who are you? Where are you calling from?
Snark out in Iowa.
Snark.
Is my phone
Man,
working?
yeah, you're doing good. You sound
Snark.
good. You look good. You feel good. You are good. Um, Snork, I was thinking yesterday too as well. And I have a question for you. And I know, please hold your thoughts because I know you called in the show, but I really was thinking about you and Dave, right? From Melbourne. Because Dave always talks about he chose the wrong way. He took the money to do things, and now he's happy to use this show as a way of speaking the truth. It's sort of a redemption. But I say to myself, because I'm thinking, because my sister's son is about to start his first week of kindergarten next week, and he's going to be all like, he's gifted in every single way. He's awesome. He's going to be, you can see he's going to be an athlete. He's just brain smart, physical smart, the whole 9 yards. But I start thinking about school, and I think about what they teach and how they kind of program. I think about the history they taught us, right? How it was so America friendly, when we were going around fighting for human rights and decency and whatnot. And it wasn't the truth. We later on learned we're an empire, and we were having poor people fight rich man's wars. And there were so many things where they programmed people. Like, they didn't program you to do good for society. It's America. They programmed you to do good for your pocket. That, your status, success or failure is judged upon how much money you make, right? And I don't know. I'm glad that Dave found a way to say, okay, this is wrong. Let me get away from this and stuff. But how do you beat back the programming of the things you were taught? And I thought about you because, you're also a professor. You've done these things. You have this amazing knowledge yourself. But I don't know. You seem to have this kind of like energy and attitude about you absorbed everything and you've learned everything and you've been able to kind of use it, towards society, and you can speak about things intelligently because you have a knowledge. Like, you can talk about hydrocolliders or weather or what's the name of the train that you love to yell out loud, Sleepy?
Oh, Snorky's the train guy.
Yes. What's the name of the train, though?
It's not the maglev. It was something else.
No. Flopping Nugan or something?
Oh, you mean Flitzakaga?
Snort, say the name again real quick.
Diamagnetic levitation train.
Yeah. But anyways, you speak on these things in a very kind of like scientific way. How do you kind of avoid that whole like getting dragged down? Because we have to, right? At the end of the day, we got to pay bills, got to put food on the table, got to pay rent. We have to do those things. If we don't do those things, we don't exist. How do you separate what society says, especially in America, about doing this, right? And you think about making a living versus like, okay, what's really best for society? How do I do what's best for society? Because in science, remember the movie Real Genius? They used Val Kilmer to create a laser that was going to vaporize people from space. They can really use your work or your knowledge for so many negative things, right? It always seems that there's somebody at top that wants to use whatever Snork can engineer to use for the state. Am I making my question clear? Or am I kind of fishing? Do you understand where I'm coming from, Snork?
Happens.
Okay.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
But there's several parts that need to go through. And we need to be looking at like what Finland's going. Found that a lot of my students had ADHD. Now, every major tends to pick up different people with different really common attributes. And I remember my first year, one of the students goes, I asked him a question, and he goes, "I'm sorry, my ADHD got me distracted." Now, we're not supposed to ask about medical situations. And I go, ADHD, and I'm like trying to figure out what to say next. And before I could say anything, other students in the class goes, "Me too, I'm on. Me too, I'm on." It was like 75% of the class, like 24 students, 75% of them were ADHD. And I suddenly had to think about, okay, what do I do with ADHD? And then I had to say, okay, for next year, what am I going to do to make it more for them? And what can I do now? And when I was younger, when I'd go into factories and we'd look at a factory and we'd rebuild factories, we would have things that we needed to do right now, things that we need to do like in 2 weeks and things we want to do in like 6 months. And we'd have a list of projects ready to go so we could have things fixed as fast as possible when we had to go and fix a factory. And I did the same thing for that. What can I do for my students today? What can I do to make it better for them in 2 to 3 weeks? And what can I do for the long term? And then I found out Finland was working best with ADHD people. Okay, I didn't even know Finland had ADHD. So what they do is, and their whole program is, they view students as important for the future. So every class has three teachers, one teacher in a topic, 2 teachers helping. So the main teacher isn't even doing discipline or anything. They're teaching, they're concentrating. They've got other things. Every single one of our students, grade levels all the way down, all the way up, is as important enough to have more than one teacher in every class. And then got into other things where we found out what can we do to keep them on focus. And for the second year students, they had them do a project. And one of the ones that had really severe ADHD, I was really proud of how we got him through that far, came up with a product of doing something from Finland where they put a red light in front of them. And he made himself some glasses. So he normally wore glasses, and he put in a microchip on the front of the glasses so only he could see a red dot out of the corner of his eye. And he taped the battery pack to his neck. And while he had on that, it was like no ADHD. Guy turned into Einstein for 3 days until his battery wore out.
What did it actually do, the battery pack?
One of my most, it just lit the battery, but it was a little tiny battery pack. I mean, this was just an idea. I went off and I got him the items, and but it was just extremely proud of him to think of that, follow through, and get through. So we have to be thinking about all of our students as our current system from whatever. For most classes are taught as you get one shot going through, you're going to get a grade at the end, all of you are going to be ranked, and those who get 4 points are going to get through. Those who get 1 are going to be like encouraged to drop out. And instead, I like the thing of what can we do to help the students get along? What can we do to say, this is what's going to happen? So currently, when we graduate from high school, we jump right into the college level if they go to college. And personally, I believe we should have a 1 to 2 year range in there for compensating for what went wrong in the first grade years. And because of COVID, we actually kind of had to, we didn't get a chance to expand how much time they were there. But because of COVID, a lot of our students basically lost 2 to 3 years of school. When COVID hit, they just didn't have school. They gave them credit for it, but we had everything like, I can remember in one class, triangles are very important in electronics. And we were doing trigonometry, and we had to do formulas for the triangles. And I said, start by drawing a triangle. And I had a class full of people, 24 students, and I had 2 students who could draw a triangle. That's how much we had to go back and cover.
Can you imagine, though, the kids who were seniors in high school during the first year of COVID, where all their activities and stuff they work to do? I mean, I get it that, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but their prom and they're walking with their cap and gown and their family there and all that just went away. It had to be some type of like, and same with the juniors, right? Like juniors and seniors. That it was so awful for them, and that man, I'd love to hear I could love to sit down and talk COVID with you. But let me just say some stuff. Let's stay on the things we're at because I was definitely thinking about this last night. I'm so glad you
No
called.
problem.
Yeah. Because it seems to me you're pointing out Finland, where they have a society where they want to raise leaders. They want to teach kids, right? They have skin in the game. The United States, they want to.
They don't want.
They want to raise followers. They want to educate. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the whole ADHD thing is when you raise your hands. Correct me if I'm wrong, Snorky Professor. That this is just also an excuse for Big Pharma to put these kids on fucking medication. Like you know what I'm saying? There was somebody put down, drink some coffee. It works against opposite of ADHD. Now I'm not saying ADHD should be ignored, but in the United States, it's too quick for Big Pharma to go, hey, take this pill. It's better for your ADHD. Rather than how do you scientifically acknowledge it, work through it. You know what I'm saying? So there seems to be differences in our society. You know, it's like George Carlin said, we have owners, they own you. They don't want people sitting around understanding the system that's has control over them. They want people just smart enough to press the buttons and the brooms and to get up and do it all again the next day, not critically think. Good, Professor.
Yeah, the next thing is, so we need our students in school, in person. Try not to be online as much as possible. Now, I do see classes like English and things like that possible to do online, but the technical classes need to be in person.
Yeah.
And we currently have something called competency-based learning that's catching on all over the place. And
What's
it's
it called?
basically where the competency-based learning, or competency-based education.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where basically a lot of places are taking it where the teachers are there to give tests and be proctors for like labs, but the actual teachers could be anywhere, like Israel. And so the classes are all online. Students come in for tests or take their tests online. And in the early trials, at least in the school I was at, I did not have to teach it. I told my students, I've only got a year to go. I'm not switching to the competency-based learning. I'm going to continue on with this. And the other instructor in my department did too. And I taught in two departments. In the other department, the students came up to me and all the other instructors were doing the competency-based learning. And they said, will your class this semester and next semester be competency-based learning? I said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not trained in it. I didn't want to say anything negative to it. They said, thanks. All 24 of us were going to quit if you said yes.
What?
And, I mean, like the whole, that's how bad they hated it. And, they're like, we need the teachers to be in the United States. And we need the teachers. What's really important is we need the teachers to be humans out there working with the students. One problem is with students is getting them used to being at time. When you go out to get a job, you're going to have to be at work pretty much on time. And that's part of the training period of getting that in is getting it through. And we still are based on their same style of years to get through school. And we have people economically struggling. So the amount of tuition stuff that is given, the people that need it often do not have help. And I would like to see more of a system of 2 years on, 2 years off, 2 years on. Because we actually need more school. We have the same number of school hours that we did 20 years ago. And we have whole new fields that get folded into what we're doing. So what happens is we almost need to have a system where we can put students out as interns paid interns, not free interns for company. Instead of right now, our basic thing is the students are there to finance banks.
Yeah. Paid
They get a
interns
great
is a
big
big thing
loan,
too as
they're
well.
paying for that
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah. That
So
it's funny. I have a
don't care
friend
if
of
it's a
mine now.
government grant.
Go ahead. No,
If
finish
it's a
it off. I'm
government
sorry.
grant, the students need to get paid. And so
Yeah,
I'd like to see them go a year, do a year as an intern, go a year, do a year as an intern. I realize that strengthens the time, makes the time a lot longer. But the students went 3 years ago. 30% of my class, or my class of the electronics, went out to a place that repairs bit mining equipment. And I lost a bunch of students. They came back after a year. I think a third of them said, I'm making more money than I ever thought I'd make. I haven't got my degree yet. I love my job. And they said, I want to go for it. Absolutely happy that they found the job. I wish they would have graduated. But like I said, they said they never expected to make that much money. And, they found out exactly what they wanted to do. So we have to be happy for them. And I would like to see that more often. When I was in school, I started off repairing computers and teaching people how to use computers for city halls. And, you learn a lot when you get out there working with real people. I've never worked with accountants before. City managers are basically like accountants, clerks. They have utility billing and stuff like that. I got to learn that. What happens is in most college majors, we have so focused on what's going on and so much is happening in the real world. The students do not get the chance to interact with people in the real world. One of the things I did was I said, my students need to learn to talk to people in other majors. I said the same thing to a person in agronomy. And I said, could we have a joint class where we talk about how to use our features? And we took and redesigned like the power supply system, like for the Voyager spacecraft. And instead of using plutonium, using cow manure. And we went over that, and the other teacher, I just kind of had a blast. They're turning them out. And maybe I should send you a piece of this equipment. No manure, you'll have to supply your own. But you can actually use the palm of your hand and generate electricity.
That's crazy.
It's that accurate. It's great.
See,
great way to make power.
Can I jump in though, Snork?
But sorry, it's your show.
No, I'm going to jump in because everything you're saying just it adds so much. Because I hear a gentleman, a man who's talking that I like talking. You have free will, and you're like one of those teachers who want to do good. And I've marched in the street with teachers, and there are some teachers out there that want to do good, but the system itself doesn't promote guys like you, right? You're too dangerous. They promote the idiots. I'm involved in a case in California where the Miners Council, because of COVID, right, a long time ago, made these rules that you can do stuff remotely. She hasn't been in the court case once, in the courtroom once, not a single friggin' time. And the judge wears a mask. It's like they promote the idiots within, right? We have something called COINTELPRO.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of it, Snorky?
Yeah.
COINTELPRO, right? Where the FBI understands they have to infiltrate all these groups that could be a threat to the state down the road, right? So they go in and they co-opt them. Part of the whole plan of COINTELPRO is to make the organization implode from within. They do that by making sure that they find a way to promote some of the biggest idiots out there. So it's not that the teachers don't want to do good out there, and I believe there are a lot, but they can't do good because they are restricted from doing what they want. They have a curriculum to follow. And COVID, whether people want to believe it or not, was also about further breaking that system of education. Like that was another way to take a sledgehammer to the youth who might understand what's going on down the road. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to use the word de-educated them, right? But they made them less educated of sorts. You know what I'm saying? They even isolated them too as well, and they broke them emotionally. And that's what we're dealing with right now. So I'm thinking about my sister and her kid. Like, you know, he's going to be in gifted. He's going to be around other kids. My sister gets him extra math, takes him to mathnasium. The kid's 5, and he's got to go to extra math because he knows his Roman numerals and everything. He's one of those kids already. But how do we keep sending our kids into the system when we know the system's really not made to benefit them? You know, another friend of mine, I said, "Oh, congratulations. Your child graduated from 5th grade, is going to go into 6th grade." I said, "I didn't know if they would graduate." And he told me, he goes, "You got to pretty much kill a principal nowadays to get left behind because the school is going to pass the kids no matter what because they just want to reach their financial incentives." How do we work through a system like this, even though we have loving teachers like yourself and other teachers you kind of talked about that want to do good, Snork? How do we beat it back?
It's tough, and as you mentioned, the high school, it's push them through. And every year, I got students that couldn't read, and that was something I did not expect. That was something we didn't encounter, 40 years ago when I was in school. You didn't see that. You didn't see people going to college who couldn't read.
Yeah.
And if we had, if they were in a special group, you weren't allowed to give them a bad grade if they couldn't take a test. And I'm like, come on. At some point, you're making tech, you could make something that could accidentally kill somebody if you make it wrong. We need to be able to say that these people are valued, able to work. And again, we are so many teachers are hoping that they survive the day, where they're viewing every day they go in as there could be a shootout, and every neighborhood is different. You can't tell what school is going to take a hit, it's overwhelming as to what they have to deal with. One of the schools I was at, we did have somebody come in. I can't remember how many people died, like 21 people, many others injured. So we had a large, this is while I was going to school. This is while it wasn't, I guess I was teaching. When you're going through a master's degree, you end up getting assigned some classes to be like an assistant teacher, not the main teacher. And so it was tough back then. But
Snorky's called on in. This is drive time. Did you want to go a different way with this, my friend? I know I kind of kidnapped the whole conversation. You called in, you helped me out on a Monday while my guest didn't show up, and here I am. Because I was thinking about you last night. I was thinking about you and Dave, and just like, the whole school system. Because I'm around my friends that live in this neighborhood, this area, and you love bringing this cup. Thank you so much, madame. I appreciate it. I got some more coffee. I'm surrounded by kids who are about to go to school. 2 of them starting high school. One of them starting middle school. One of them starting elementary school. And I just think about how it plugs into what the future's like. Because people, when they ask me about the technocratic AI age that's coming, it's like, yeah, we're going to be okay, right? We're not going to have to deal with it, but our children are going to have to deal with it. And I'm thinking about so many things are being built around now the state, trying to condition and not only propagandize, but condition the children moving forward. And it's so awesome seeing all the comments in the chat, guys, about being able to talk about this, because this is important. Even if you don't have kids like me, this is important. Right, Snork? Please. We might have somebody holding on in, but I'll give you the last 60 seconds to talk about anything, and we'll go from there real quick.
On the COVID, when I was a kid, my brother had all of the types of measles, and I had none. So my doctor said that I should not take a measles shot. He said, I've got some really good natural immunity. If I took a shot, this was way back in the 60s. If I took a shot, it would reduce my immunity. And that was the theory of what I've gone by for all these years. Was my doctor, former World War I flying ace, was enough to tell me that I shouldn't take a shot for the measles. And I thought that should have been the same theory for the COVID.
Did you take a vaccine?
Put in their commentaries.
Can I put you on the spot?
I did not.
You take the vaccine?
Oh no, the COVID vax. As a teacher in Iowa, I was required to, and I wasn't just suggested. In Iowa, as a teacher, that was considered a crime to not take the shot.
Yeah.
It wasn't just get fired. It was get fired, go to jail. And that's the way it was explained to us.
I get it.
I was kind of like,
I get it. And to travel, I had to take a shot. So I did what any sane person, an honest person would do. I lied.
I just meant I did not take a measles shot.
I lied. I said, hell no, not doing it. Snorky, thank you so much for calling in, man. You made the show, and it's awesome talking to you. And yeah, go ahead. You had something else to say, please. I don't mean to cut you off. Go right ahead.
I will send you an email for Wednesday's show.
Perfect.
And there's a candidate out here that is an independent, that is one of the first independents really to make a way out in against the Democratic Party and the Republican Party in Iowa. So I'm going to one of his rallies this week. But I'll keep you up on that. And somebody mentioned about the common manure being powerful. Yes, when there was a teacher out in Illinois that developed a way to take sewage and turn it into actual petroleum, and he could actually, if we got serious, we have enough cow manure in Iowa to replace Saudi Arabia, and we're right in the middle of the country. We've got Mississippi River for transport. We've got the rails coming through. And
I'm going to use that cow poo.
We're not putting any. We don't only have that. We have 8 million people, or we have 26 million people worth of cattle manure. And we have pigs. And so we have all of this stuff out there that isn't being funded, but we need people to go to school. Hey, we should invest at least as much money in America as we invest in other countries.
No, I get it. Yeah, but that's the whole thing. They don't want us growing as a society and stuff. You know what it is? It's like the last week before school, so it's band camp week for some friends out there. They're going to band camp. I think that playing instruments, Snorky, too, is very important. I think that drama is very important. Acting is important because, you use a part of your brain. It's called abstract thinking. And when you use a part of the brain that kind of sits still and you kind of tap into that, you're really tapping into something special over there. That's how I think we grow as a society. I think the arts mean that much. But then again, I'm kind of, biased towards the arts because I was a drama student. I won the Drama 4 award in Spanish River when I was there, my high school. And I have a friend starting Spanish River soon. I see you, Valentina, going to be a shark out there. Snorky, thank you so much for calling on in. I appreciate it. I love you, brother. I look forward to Wednesday's show. Shoot me an email. Shoot me whatever you got.
All right. Bye.
You got it, buddy. Snork, Professor Snork. It's band camp. And when I was talking about abstract thinking, I was talking about you, Lucia. I know you're listening. Abstract thinking. Lean into your talents if you find them at a young age. Stop watching too much TV, right? I had friends who wanted to be a doctor because they watched too much of that. What's that show with Lucy Liu and my sister was watching it. Fiorello
Grey's
watched it.
Anatomy.
Yeah,
Grey's
that Grey's Anatomy
I
crap.
hate that fucking show.
I know how to save a life. Let me wake up the whole house with my bad thinking. Lean in to your talents. That's all I got to say. Shout out to the School of Rock in Boca Raton from Anthony Imperio. We got a recital on Friday. I'm going to be there. Be there or be square. Support the children in the arts. Anyways, guys, it's a fun day. It's Monday. We had Snorky call on in. We've been talking a little education this morning because, right, all these kids getting ready to go to school. What are they going to do? School doesn't challenge a lot of kids. You know, they don't teach them to think for themselves. It doesn't challenge them. You gotta blow up a teacher's house to even get held back because the school wants their money, their funding, so they want their scores and their, you know what I'm saying? There's no accountability in that way. And I listen, I was one of those kids. I shouldn't have graduated high school. I had a 1.9 GPA. They signed a waiver, and I only got a 1.9 because some teachers were like, I'll give you a D instead of an F. You know what I'm saying? Because I did not participate. I shouldn't have graduated high school on time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my kid was real close, man. All she wanted to do was theater. So
me too. Theater and lunch. I like PE. I like physical education. I love running around that stuff too. But other than that, you know, that's it. You know? So I don't know. Because I do believe when they say, oh, when the student fails, that means that the teacher also failed. Guys, it's 4 minutes to 9. You better be on time for the School of Rock. There is no late people showing up. Go ahead, sleep and snork. Sleep.
All they really do is in high school is teach you how to pass the tests and barely.
That's it.
That's it.
Lean into your talents.
Like I had to teach her all kinds of history that they just don't cover.
If you're good at computers, go further your computer. Like, I mean, my boy Dean, he's out there. He's going to rock the computer science. You know? Lean into your talents. I leaned into my drama. I really did. So when I got out to California, at least I can kind of, you know, I give myself a shot. I put myself in the area. You know, but by the time I got to California, I'd already done like 22 plays. You know what I'm saying? I did a couple of little commercials and stuff. I leaned into my talents. It got me here. I'm here with you all because I leaned into my talents. So I have you all. So lean into your skill set. And that's the thing, is that the school is not built around your skill set. So it's going to be interesting, the future of school. We've been talking about that this morning. The re-education. What is it? The miseducation of Lauryn Hill? What a great album. Man, you ever listen to that album? Unbelievable.
Probably, I don't know.
I think I woke up the house, guys. We got 28 people over on the YouTubes, and I love talking like Bernie Sanders. And we got 24 over on the Rumble. So no matter what, by the time we get to the top of the hour, we always have at least 50 listeners. Then people start to wake up, and by the time we get to the end of the second hour, we're usually close to 100. I'm kind of interested with Karen Kwiatkowski on Wednesday where we can get. Tomorrow, Nico House is supposed to be back. He's in Brazil. Brazil's got an interesting election coming up, man. Wow, does it have an interesting election coming up. Wow. And it's interesting because sometimes the state used, they wanted Lula to come back because Lula is a vaccine salesman. So the Brazilian election is going to be between Lula da Silva, who's a vaccine salesman, or Flavio Bolsonaro, who's a Zionist puppet. Which one do you want, Sleepy? Which one? You want the vaccine
giant douche
salesman?
and shit sandwich? I'm good.
You want the vaccine salesman, or you want the Zionist puppet? But I mean, Lula comes from labor, right? So it's, you know, I know there's a lot of people who can't stand them. There's also a culture war going on in Brazil. You know, Fucking religion plays into it. Nobody wanting this Bolsonaro guy. I mean, it's like this fuck. I know somebody who loves Bolsonaro. It was a
just
lady I
bizarre.
dated. What's that?
Just bizarre.
It is. Yeah, but it's bizarre for people the way they love Trump, the way they love Trump.
Oh, I'm not.
He did
not
a good
debating
job
that.
of fooling the people, though. You know, there was even areas I'm like, you know what? If he could end the Ukraine war in 24 hours, man, still going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to happen, but if it happened, I would have been. You would have got credit for that. I'm cool
It
with
was
that.
worth it going, okay. I'm going to stop
See what he
the
do.
slaughter and death. Stop the slaughter and death, I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. We've hit 30 people over on YouTube. We're about 24 or 25. Where are we at? We're at 23 on Rumble. So we're cooking with Crisco. We talked a little bit about education today. We had Snorky, the professor himself, calling in. If you want to call on in, you can talk about whatever you want. 561-247-2721. Is Joanna around? Where's Joanna? 561-247-2721. You said Stacy was hanging out. I didn't see her name in the chat, but if she's hanging out, what's up, Stace? I could see Katie Kane there. I can see Skywalk. Thank you so much. I can see you all. You guys are amazing. Whoop, whoop, says Ekankar. I was going to play this clip over here, and I'm going to play this clip again because this is the clip that everybody says, you see, Sleepy, Israel is controlling us. They're calling the shots. Take a look. Take a listen. I think this is all theater. I forgot he's speaking in Zionist. The main thing is the first. You know what? I don't even want to read it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to read this pig's voice. But pretty much at the end of the day, he says America is something you can easily maneuver to move in the right direction. This is the video out there, Sleepy, that everybody is playing that says, you see, they're the ones in charge. They're the ones that they're calling.
Look, if we were losing money on it, we wouldn't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're enriching ourselves doing this shit. So why would we stop?
So I put up exactly. Fuck. So I put up a clip of RFK because they're going to start this right now. We're going to dive in. We're going to get Tiffany Cianci on the show. Tiffany Cianci does some amazing work. She did some great work on Luigi Mangione. By the way, Luigi Mangione, nobody's talked about a month ago. The judge said that the search at the McDonald's is not going to be used in court, that they broke protocols and it's no longer admissible for them to use. So the capturing of the gun, the letter, all that stuff, Luigi Mangione is going to walk. He going to walk.
I hope so.
He going to walk. You hope so. Why do you hope so?
Because, man, fucking these CEOs need to be frightened of us.
But doesn't violence begets other violence? Is it okay?
Yeah, I don't give a shit
know,
anymore.
Sleepy, I'm with you.
The amount of violence they perpetrate on us. Like, what are we
Yes.
supposed to do? Just take it?
They just kill us with the side of a pen. That CEO is responsible for more denials of policy than any fucking, well, he was until he's gone. And then any other fucking company out there, they denied more policies. They killed people with the pen. And today, I mean, I would look at our healthcare system, which is a sick care system. You know about it, Sleepy. But I would say we can't. Universal healthcare is no good because we don't want to prop up the sick care system. But there are so many people out there suffering without insulin and out basic needs they need to have because they can't afford it. And even though I'm not crazy about the healthcare system in America, it's necessary at times for some. Especially for certain people, right? So I'll take a shitty healthcare system than no healthcare system at all. But anyways, circling the wagons, getting back to this guy has done nothing. He has done, he's kind of asked for certain things. Supposedly he's going to go after some processed food. The red dye thing he did, it didn't work out. In fact, he's propped up the vaccine companies, right? Pfizer and whatnot. Now they're going to have this phony battle. This is what they do all the time. They're going to make you look like the victim. Because when you look like the victim, then people stand behind you. They got to get people to stand behind RFK now because he's really doing the work of the ruling class. We saw this from his, what do you call it? His, it's not his inauguration. When you have a hearing, your confirmation hearing, him completely go against the things he was supposed to step in there and fight against, especially when it came to other vaccines that he talked about, he talked against for years. And now all of a sudden he was endorsing them and endorsing more money to go to Pfizer to make more vaccines and not really getting them pulled off emergency use. In other words, he just sit there, he might say some stuff, but his actions, he doesn't do anything the medical freedom movement wanted. And I know a lot of people within the medical freedom movement are very upset. And they understand now, because it's not incrementalism you get. You listen to Michael Imperial, the incrementalism is not what you get. What you get is you back off from your fighting mode against the state because you think you have an advocate fighting for you when he's really there to dupe you, and he's not working for you, he's working for the ruling class. That's what RFK is. Do you understand that, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to explain it very simply. Once again, it's worse when you think you're getting an incrementalist, like a Ro Khanna, like an AOC, like an RFK, because you surrender some of the fight to these people that are going in there that you think are working on your behalf, but they're really working for the ruling class. And you get set back further. You don't get the little things. You get set back further, right? And I'd rather have RFK, I'd rather have Tulsi during their confirmation hearings. Stick by their guns and not get confirmed and go, look, I'm here to fucking represent the people. I'm not here to represent the Senate. What Tulsi Gabbard said about Edward Snowden, shit, during a confirmation hearing. I spoke to him about, no, shit, Tulsi. What you said about Assad, shit, which is so important. That showed your capitulation to the Zionist and the warmongering military-industrial complex entities here. I'd rather you stick by the truth and not get confirmed than get confirmed, well, you got to do that to get in. Well, then don't get in. If your objective is to get in there to buck the system, you buck the system.
That was never there. That wasn't her intention. That was never her intention. That was never her fucking intention. Let's be real.
But that's what her supporters were saying.
Well, their supporters were lied to. I don't know how else to say that.
Yeah. No, it's not any form of compromise equals incrementalism, Anthony. It's when you are on a show the way, what's his name, Jeremy Scahill called out Ro Khanna. He said it wasn't okay for Hamas to attack Israel on that day. He's wrong. It is legal according to international law. Anybody who says Israel has the right to protect itself, to defend itself, like a Bernie Sanders, once again, you're going backwards. You're not getting anything. They don't really stand up for the people of Gaza. They act like they do. They create some noise, but if their position is Israel has a right to defend itself, meaning they have a right to bomb women and children with the weapons we give them, well, no, but they can defend themselves. They're defending themselves in an apartheid state where they took a bunch of people and threw them in a Gaza Strip, which David Cameron, a conservative prime minister of Great Britain, have your tea, even said that Gaza was an open-air prison.
It's got a wall, dude. It's got a big fucking wall. Like, what the fuck?
No.
It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Like, why are they allowed to do that? I get it.
You don't say, thank you, Bernie Sanders and Ro Khanna. You say, go fuck yourself. You ain't really fighting for us.
They only say this shit when it's safe for them to say it. That's my biggest problem.
Exactly.
With all these assholes.
It's like a game. Those people who are opposing things in Congress, they know it's going to get passed anyways.
Yeah,
like, hey, man, I'm going to vote against you in this one, Israel, but don't worry about it. I really got your back at the end of the day. I'll say at the end of the day, you got a right to defend yourself. I'm just going to object to extra money for your Iron Dome this time. But don't worry. They got the votes. They told me, they assured me they got the votes. So watch me pretend like I'm really standing up against Israel and the state. Give me the wah, please.
What the hell is it?
Give it to me.
I'm looking.
You got to get that. You got to get that on.
Gestapo tactics.
You got to get that thing on speed dial. By the way, So here we go. Here comes now. First of all, I thought this guy was going to resign. And I know the Children's Health Defense. First of all, on October 7th, we were all like, this guy is a fucking crock of shit. RFK. Like, so many people just abandoned him on that day. And it's funny because I heard about that. I was like, oh, God. When Gaza struck back, I was like, somebody take away this guy's phone. Up until that time, I supported him. And then as soon as he made his first tweet about that stuff, it's like, okay, we're gone. We're gone. We're out. I remember Daniel McAdams that day. I remember Dave DeCamp from antiwar.com. Well, that coalition with the right wing as far as anti-war, that's out the window now. On that day, it fell apart. We saw for real they weren't anti-imperialist. They weren't anti-war. They were running around the peace president. We got to do this and that. We got to end these wars. Full of shit. Just like the left is okay with some wars. They'll be okay with war in Russia, Ukraine for as long as it could be. They'll fund it. They're not anti-war. They're not anti-imperialist. It's a big game being played on us. And the only person in Congress, Senate or House that really had any pushback was Thomas Massey. He's got his questionable things about him. You can never know if they're playing the game to bring him back because, he's close to the Masons. He's got a little masonry in his childhood. Maybe they bring him back. Maybe they bring him Marjorie Taylor Greene back. Wolf in sheep's clothing. That's why they're making them look like the outcast and the victors now. It seems like the people that want to get in there, since they understand that the basic knowledge of the society in the United States across the board is that our government is corrupt and it sucks. They got to get an outsider, right? That's all. We got to elect an outsider. Let's get an outsider in there. So they're making these people look like outsiders. But can we trust them at the end of the day? Can we trust Marjorie Taylor Greene at the end of the day? Can we trust
none of these
Thomas
fucking
Massey
people
at the end of the day? I don't know. Sorry, go ahead, Sleepy.
I just said I don't trust any of these fucking people.
But that means we got to do something with our government. We can't have a representative government. Who do we trust? If we don't trust anybody, what are we going to do?
They don't represent us. That's why I don't trust them.
My nephew and my mom are singing, and then my mom doesn't. As you know, my mom had a stroke, and she doesn't speak. I got you, Lady Alex. What's the next move, Lady Alex M? Who cares? All politicians are lying scum at some levels. That's the whole thing they pitch. I wasn't a politician. I'm a businessman replacing a politician.
I mean,
my mom is just, you guys don't even know. It's so cute right now. She's trying.
I can kind of hear it. It's funny.
You can just try to, because she just makes noises and sounds and she gets all excited. And the other day we had like a nice dinner and my friend Gloria came over and my sister's friend Mike came over and I made bolognese. I did a little video on it. That will be the video probably by the end of the week after my other video. My next video is going to be a sandwich review. I reviewed a sandwich spot. I had the chicharron in Peru. And I'm going to start putting all these on the Pasta to Go Patreon. We'll play them on the show. I'll post them up and whatnot. But we'll also be showing the videos on the Patreon. If you guys can go to the Patreon, it's listed down below, right? Is the Patreon listed? I want to make sure I listed it. Let me take a look at the morning. Yes, it is listed. I'm going to share it here. Go to the Patreon. There's only 3 paid people. But we need a few more. And if you can't pay, just join up for free. It's all listed in the descriptions. All the videos are going to be there. And I want to put some other people. Stacy, I want to talk to you. I'd love to get a video of you. I can have my friend Lucia edit it. And just little TikTok style videos. Nothing crazy, nothing production wise. That's nuts. That's very easy. We can kind of churn these out and get them out there. I want to, Michael Imperioli, maybe you could do a little video too as well. Anthony Imperioli, sorry. Michael Imperioli is the name of Christopher, his character on The Sopranos. Let's get back. It is 561-247-2721. Let's do this, Sleepy. I know you just took it down. Let's put it back up, the video. I'm going to play this RFK because now here comes the the lifting, the Streisand effect of RFK. How do we get RFK to be popular? Because he in his position is doing very good for Pfizer, right? And, if you take care of Pfizer or the drug companies, they'll take care of you. Ask Xavier Becerra, who's going to be the governor of California, for being a good HHS secretary to the pharmaceutical needs. And let's go full screen on this because I want to refill my coffee one last time. I'm going to play this nice and loud. Say hi to Quintus in the morning. I love you guys. You're watching. Quintus is my nephew, by the way. He's Italian and black, and he is smart, athletic. He's awesome. He's just an awesome kid. I want to name him Franco after Franco Harris because he was my favorite black Italian running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So it was pretty awesome. But anyways, let's play this full screen. You're watching Drive Time or listening to Drive Time. Give us a call, 561-247-2721. That's Bernie Sanders Blackjack.
I see my job as telling the truth, and the truth is that there is study after study after study. It's one of the most studied things out there in science.
You're repeating
and
it like a parrot. You're repeating it like a parrot. I've actually read the science. You don't want to come back here and debate the science.
I'm not debating this with you.
Of course you won't.
No, because I'm not debating.
All you know how to do is repeat things that people told you and say, trust the experts. That's what you did during COVID. Now we know that Anthony Fauci, who was the expert, was lying about everything, about masks, about social distancing, about natural immunity, about the transmission from the vaccine, about the source of COVID. He was lying, and you were punishing people for not trusting the experts. And now you're rolling out the experts again to talk about something that you have no personal knowledge of.
Okay, well, guess what? That is my job, to talk to people.
Your job is to
Am I allowed to talk?
to the American
Yes,
public.
yes. And my job is to get as much information as I can.
And
what we were doing,
skepticism.
What we were doing in COVID and still with regard to these vaccines is getting the best information, the best science that we can.
Wow. The best science that we can.
I mean, to be fair, he was pushing back. I mean,
yeah. Okay. So the auspicious, right?
Not that I'm saying he's not full of shit, but
yeah, that's great, Bobby. So why the mRNA and Pfizer push?
Probably because he knows Maha's dead. He's trying to rein him back in.
Theater is what that is. You're right. It's dead. Kabuki theater right there, ladies and gentlemen. Make believe, pretend fighting. Oh my God, the Big Show has a chair. He has a chair. He's not really hitting the Undertaker over the head hard with the chair. The chair's going to crack in. They know what they're doing. They've rehearsed it. They've practiced it. It's BS. Maha is dead, and it's dead for a reason. Guys, give us a call, 561-247-2721. 561-247-2721. I want one more caller. We can't just do one caller for the day. Where is Dave even around? Have we seen Dave in the chat? We haven't even seen Dave around. He usually does his call. Alex Strenger will be back next week. We got Nico House on Tuesdays. He'll be here. Karen Kwiatkowski on Wednesdays. On Thursdays, we have Kyle Anzalone. I was on Kyle Anzalone's show. That was fun. On Friday, I was on the show. And next Friday, hopefully Andrew will be back. He had some family things to take care of. Last Friday, we had Don DeBar on. The most underrated journalist in my time, I think, is Don DeBar. That guy has been doing so much work for so long. I'll never forget when he reached out to me on Facebook. That's how long ago. I was like, oh, shit, Don DeBar is reaching out to me. And I always love to tell the story that I'm flying into New York. Don and I have the internet, so I'm talking to him through Facebook Messenger. He goes, oh, you're coming in? Great. He goes, I'll come to the airport and pick you up. Well, I was going to rent a car. Cancel it. I got you. Okay. He goes, you got a place to stay? I said, well, I was going to go check into a hotel. He goes, did you already pay for it? I said, no. He goes, cancel it. I got you. Never met the guy. Get off the plane, know exactly who he is, takes me back to his house. He's got a spare room for me. Have has meatballs in a crock pot and a bottle of Chianti. So we have meatballs and Chianti together. I know for all your vegans out there, that's upsetting, but yes, that's what Italians do. So the first time he cancel your hotel, cancel your car, I got you, and then meatballs and Chianti on top of that. And I just love listening to that guy. That guy is so fucking smart. He's got so many great things to say. He's very well traveled. When he was talking about doing work with Cynthia McKinney, he does do it. He walks the walk, and the guy has no ego. He doesn't care, man. Like he doesn't get whatever. I'm like, Don, I really wish you could have spoke at this event. I don't care. No, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't. He has no ego whatsoever. He cares about the message getting out there, and that's what true journalism is all about, right? Who cares who gets credit for the message as long as the message gets out there? Guys, share the stream if you can. Call on in if you can. 561-247-2721. 561-247-2721. We just went over the theatrics of Bobby Kennedy. And that's what a lot of people are talking about, too, by the way. When they called into the show, the lady who pushed back on me about my feelings about the COVID, she also pushed back on the co-host, because the co-host was talking about Fauci's role in AIDS. Same thing that Greg talked about when he called into the show. So they were talking about that stuff. You know what we do? We have another video from Matt Orfalea, or Matt Orfalea. Typical CNN.
I think it's Orfalea.
I know. I do that too. I know Matt. I met Matt several times. I love Matt. He's a great guy. I always go, Matt Orfalea, Matt Orfalea.
I will always be impressed with the amount of times that man can say fuck in a single show.
Who?
Matt Orfalea, dude. He got Misty in a little bit of trouble on TNT.
Really? On TNT?
Oh, dude.
Jeez.
He was letting him roll, man. It was great.
Let it go. He wasn't holding back. Guys, do us a favor. Like, share the show if you can. Go to the Patreon. We're going to start posting up the cooking videos. I'll have a cooking video hopefully by tomorrow. We'll see. Let me get this on the screen over here, Sleepy, and I'll play it. Keep us on the side, though. I'm not going anywhere. There we go. Dr. Fauci live on the New Day. They just carried this guy. They pampered this guy. This is the opposite of what journalism is supposed to be. You're supposed to question, push back, nothing. Instead, they were vaccine salesmen themselves. All these people on CNN and all these other channels. They deserve to be. They should be held accountable for what they did too as well. Right? It's just terrible what they did. Terrible, awful. Here we are.
Did you hear that Brad was nominated for an Emmy for playing you?
Yes, I did. What a surreal world we're living in, Allison. I mean, I hope he wins. He's a great actor. I mean, he's one of my favorite actors, so I really do hope he wins.
Have you spoken to him since he played you?
You know, I have not. I would love to meet him because I've been such a great admirer of him and his talent, but I have not spoken to him.
I feel like we can make that happen, Dr. Fauci. I feel like you and I have the power to have you meet Brad, because I sort of feel like anything you and I suggest, he does.
We'll see. We'll see. Thanks, Allison.
I'm not done with you, Dr. Fauci. Would you like to go up on stage when he wins? Would you like to be there to help accept the Emmy Award?
Yeah. You know, Allison, the only reason I have hesitancy about that is that we're in the middle of an outbreak, a really bad pandemic. And I think that if that association with kind of show business thing might be misinterpreted, that I'm not serious about what I'm doing. So I'd rather.
Oh, we know you were serious about what you were doing, pal. We know your ties to Big Pharma and the pharmaceutical industrial complex. We know how you were.
Big Pharma slap bitch.
Yeah, we know you serious. We know you were serious about shit. But I mean, man, as I go back and I watch this stuff, reliving this stuff, it's just like, holy cow. Holy cow. There was like no pushback whatsoever from one part of the media.
No, just some fake white man laughs.
Wow. Wow. I mean, and that's the thing. You have to realize that Pfizer and Moderna and Johnson & Johnson's pays these people's salaries. Military industrial complex. So they got to be pro-war. They got to be pro-big pharma. But holy shit.
Hey, being
You
a
know what I was saying?
stenographer is tough
You had-
work.
You had teachers in the industry that want to do well and stuff, but they have to kind of still abide by the rules that are set forth by the state and the curriculum, and they're told what they can and can't do. You still have good teachers operating within that system. That doesn't work like in mainstream media. No, you don't have people who want to do good. They try to pretend like that's what they're trying to do for Tucker Carlson now. And Tucker Carlson's going to promote J.D. Vance like there's no business. Tucker Carlson picked J.D. Vance. He's going
Now
to
now they're thinking about arresting his ass. So
yeah. Who, Tucker or J.D.?
Tucker.
Why?
The some intelligence agency has forwarded to the DOJ to have him arrested. It popped up a while ago and it's come up again, so I think it might they might actually go for it.
Kabuki theater once again.
Oh, I know. It's just going to elevate him. That's all it is.
It's just going to elevate the guy, and the guy's going to push, just like Donald Trump, right? Did he go to jail? Did he get arrested for any of those things? Did it make a difference? It was just all talk. And I don't like Donald Trump at all. I believe this is all kabuki theater. And Tucker's going to push J.D. Vance. And J.D. Vance is nothing more than Peter Thiel's sock puppet. What the?
What? You look. Oh, he's muted. All right, guys. I wish I could push play on this. Finish it.
Focus on my job and really wish him well that he wins.
I was afraid there was going to be a point that I pushed you too far, and I feel that we have just gotten up to that point. But we really appreciate how playful you have been on the lighter note with all of that, and it was just great. I mean, it was just a great moment to watch. That obviously Brad Pitt is a fan of yours and all of your information as well.
Yeah, thanks, Allison. I appreciate it.
Not handsome enough, Brad Pitt. That's the one thing I will say. The one inaccurate point there. Brad Pitt, not quite good looking enough. Dr. Fauci, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
appreciate it. Thanks.
We really do live in a goddamn cartoon.
Yeah, thanks, Allison.
Clearly.
All right, you just heard from Dr. Anthony Fauci there. Talk about the coronavirus.
What the hell, y'all? All right, give us a call, 561-247-2721.
I don't know why my computer's freaking out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Can you hear me? Sorry about that. What I gotta do is I accidentally put my phone on. I gotta turn it off, and it came through my computer, and it just messed everything up. Sorry about that, guys.
Got a call.
Go ahead, caller. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Fred, calling from Evansville. Good morning.
Look at you, buddy, coming to save the day. What's going on, my man?
Well, I got to tell you, I have never been more thankful that I stopped watching CNN and all cable news than I am this morning, watching that BS tongue job that those alleged reporters gave to Fauci about some impersonation and an Emmy Award. What the hell is that? That's what they're putting on cable news?
Yeah.
It's insane. It's absolutely freaking insane.
They don't do it. I mean, they kind of do the same thing with some of the generals and the people they speak to on the air and stuff, because they do talk to retired military personnel that's going to push their wars. But it's not as much as a tongue bath as it was for Dr. Fauci when it came to. I mean, literally, Fred.
Have you not heard Jack Keane?
Oh my God! Yes, on Fox, Jack Keane, who's getting paid to push back against Iran, right? Like he's getting paid by that one
dude. Some of this shit that comes out of that fucker's
Jack
mouth. Him and is it who's the other guy? It's him and there's some other fucking general dude that's a pile of crap too. But yeah, there's
several of them. I mean,
I'm done.
Go ahead.
What you got, Fred?
Fred, sorry about that.
That's all right. I got to say, I totally do not. I'm 90% of what's on legacy media, I don't see.
Yeah.
If someone covers it, someone posts a clip on one of the social media platforms, I may see it. Most of the time, I won't even click on them. But if there's some brouhaha about how nutty these people are, then I'll see it. But we've got ex-CIA in journalism. We've got ex-CIA in our Congress. We've got ex-generals that are paid by the military-industrial complex to be representatives for their cause. There isn't a single part of the apparatus that isn't corrupted by money, and it's just, I mean, insane. I remember in the 90s watching the ads for pharmaceuticals and all of the side effects that they listed in that little quick blurb that they always stuck on at the end of it, and getting freaked out because the cure was worse. The cure was worse than the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're feeling depressed? Get on this antidepressant that may cause suicide. I mean, hello.
Fred,
how do you just gloss over that side effect that they're telling you is likely?
I like when they do it really fast at the end. Taking this medication may cause diarrhea, vomiting, suicide, slitting of your throat, and whatever.
And growing a leathery tail.
But how often those who tried this medication found symptoms reduced in the first 6 days. But
it's like an auctioneer saying it, so it's so goddamn
really
fast.
Quietly and really fast at the very end. Well, they were supposed to change that. That was one thing that RFK was supposedly that a lot of people bragged about in the Maha movement, about RFK, that he was going to get that changed, that they have to disclose what's going to happen when you take their medications. But I don't know if it really...
They're just going to rattle that shit off so fast that it covers their ass legally, and we still don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And who makes the decision on what they have to disclose, who's going to monitor that, who's going to see that, who's going to push back against that. What's the guy's name from the Hot Wire?
Hot Wire.
Del Bigtree.
Del Bigtree was kind of bragging about that. Del Bigtree worked for the RFK campaign. I saw Del Bigtree several times. I like Del. I loved his work during COVID. Some of the best freaking work out there. But unfortunately, putting their baskets, their eggs in the basket behind RFK. And RFK was great during COVID, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just when the Israeli shit came out, and then now his capitulation towards Big Pharma, we got egg in our face. We got fooled again. So
I bet he got paid, though.
Who? RFK?
Yeah.
Please. They probably got so much dirt on that dude. He was a sex addict at one point, they say.
Oh, he's a fucking Kennedy. I mean, shit.
Yeah, Kennedy, right? Kennedy's one of the high.
Name a fucking Kennedy that didn't have a bunch of baggage, man. They don't exist.
Well, RFK and JFK used to go whoring in Cuba before Castro took over. They used to send them down there. Go down to Cuba, have a good time. Can you believe they're running TV ads boasting about how wonderful this data center will be? Anyways, Fred, what else you got before we get you on out of here? And thank you for calling the show, man. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for being a producer of sorts. That's the way I look at you, more than just a person. You've been with me for a long time, riding on the Pasta Fiorella train of sorts.
Riding with the couch.
Enough for your support. On the couch. Fred's riding on the couch.
That's what Shannon used to say. She
I remember the couch.
Always riding with
All
the
right.
couch.
Love you, Fred.
Well, have a great day. Have a great day. What's that?
Really quickly, how do I realistically get you one of the mango cheesecakes I'm making this week? Because I'm making some jank. I got, for my friend, I got 6 ripe mangoes, and I got 6 blocks of cream cheese. I got a lot of eggs. It's time to make some mango cheesecake. How do I realistically get them to you?
Well, I know they have shipping packages that you can insulate and put an ice pack in, like a styrofoam box.
Yes.
I don't know where to find them, but
Yeah, you can definitely do
deliveries of fresh produce through UPS. Bizarre, blew my mind. But stuff arrives, and it's perfectly preserved. I mean, I kept one in the box for 2 days, and it was still cold when I opened it.
Yeah, those are usually dry ice packs. I used to have to get my daughter a bunch of food shipped. So
I got to secure the mango cheesecake properly is what my job is to do, pretty much.
Yes.
I got to find a box that won't be freaking tossed around and smushed.
You could probably find a pie box for that.
I'm just so afraid it gets to Fred all over the friggin' box.
Well, if you seal the actual pie securely enough, even if they turn it upside down, it's still going to stay intact.
But see, I want to make a mango syrupy gloss on top. So if it turns upside down, I don't know. We got to figure it out.
Okay. Well, we'll work on this side up packaging.
Yeah, maybe I just do it without the mango-y gloss this time. So who knows? By the way, who knows? Lady Alex M makes her own ice cream. By the way, she's been very vocal in the chat today, lady. I appreciate. Fred, I love you. Get on out of here. Thank you so much for calling. We'll figure out. We'll get you a mango cheesecake. Thank you so much for all your support. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, keep doing the work, and I'll keep supporting.
There you go, buddy.
Later.
That's great. I like that proposition. You build it, and I'll keep coming. You show up, and I'll be here. Very vocal, Lady Alex says. You got to call in the show, Lady Alex. I'd love to have a conversation with you. I'm always looking at your stuff in the chat. If anybody else wants to call in, 561-247-2721. This is Drive Time in the morning. We're working with the producers. Gabriel Freedom is the head producer of this show. Sleepy J is more than just the engineer. He's a co-host. And we're trying to figure out ways to make the show better, grow the show, and we're going to put our heads together. Gabrielle did mention the other day that I should reopen up the Patreon and kind of get that crank back up. So we're going to do that. We're going to put some cooking videos up there. I have a editor now. She'd finish her job. Are you done with my video? No, I want to go see Spider-Man. Come on! Kids nowadays. Cam Schwari, Kate, old school too as well. You can call in anytime you want. You guys, I love to hear your voice. I love to hear how you first. It's so amazing when you snort the first time. Oh, I've been following you and Fiorella for so long. It's like, that's just touches my heart. It's so friggin' awesome. Like I said, coming back and doing this here is a little humbling, right? Having these shows, I see we have a caller. Having the shows, getting to a certain level, going, oh my God, that's it. I'm set. I'm going to be able to do this for the rest of my life. But then getting mango pie in the face and realizing, you got to dig back in and do it right. Caller, who are you? Where are you calling from?
Lady Alex at your service.
I tell you,
I was summoned.
Yes. All I had to do is request, and you are here. Lady Alex, you've been so vocal today. You're a native New Yorker?
In New York, born and bred.
You still there?
No, I left New York City in '98. I got my nursing degree to get out of that place, and I've been in New Mexico and all around the west area of the country, and came back to New Mexico for good, and learned how to drive at age 40.
That's awesome.
But I love it out here. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Are you still practicing nursing?
I retired from the VA in December. That was a trip working for the feds. Woo.
Wow. But a good cause once again, right? Working for see, that's the thing. Like the teachers, they got to stick within their lines. They got to do the curriculum. They got to pass the kids no matter whatever the case may be. They got to deal with all these kids on ADHD, but still try to do something positive and good. And there's a lot of good teachers that do that. Same thing for you, Lady Alex. You were working within the VA. Yeah, you're working for the state and the feds, but you're working with all these veterans. I'm sure, just like Alex Preddy, that you probably touched some hearts in some positive ways. What do you think? No?
Yeah, well, me being the anti-imperialist person that I am and knowing the truth about our government and everything else, I mean, of course, I didn't discuss this with anyone, but I was able to, as much as I could, infuse my humanity into my practice. I was a psych nurse. And so anytime I could just be my compassionate self and infuse myself into how I treated others, I mean, it was at least that was a positive. But being in that environment and working for the government, being me, was a challenge. But at least it was something positive.
Yeah. Was it a challenge from your superiors in making sure that you didn't go too rogue to get yourself in trouble? Is that what the challenge was, or was it?
No, not really. It was just insidious. It was just the whole culture there that it was just there, the whole praising of the vets and the government and all the emails we would get from the VA secretary and everybody, and the bullshit, national, or every month, like the Black History Month, the Native American Month, the LGBTQ month, how wonderful they are, which they couldn't care less. It was just a show, and it was just disgusting. I knew what was going on, and it was just, being, in that whole culture, it was disgusting, but, I needed to work. It was a good job, and, it was just a challenge, being a nurse in that environment. But the last 3 years I worked from home, and which was great. I got a different job at the VA working as a triage nurse on the phone. But the thing is, believe it or not, I worked 100% from home, and I was forced to get the quote unquote vax working from home. Tell me about it. Yes. Or threatened I would not have a job.
So did you do what I did and lie? Or did you actually go through with it?
No, you have to show proof.
Yeah, I showed proof, but there was no database at the time, so my little vaccine card worked.
I had to show. Well, I got the J&J one. I felt disgusted that I had to do it, but at least I got that one non-mRNA one, and I didn't get any more. But I still felt it was disgusting.
Talking about the high wire at one point, they did point out one of the shows in the high wire that there were different batches. Some were really toxic, some were okay. So what I hope is either you got a placebo, right? Is that what you called? Or a non-toxic vax. Who knows? I mean, I don't think that the people are that much in danger unless they got the booster. If you got a booster, you'd put yourself in the danger zone. My friend, Ronnie Rose, who passed away in January, he was diagnosed, and 13 months later, he got a booster. I do believe that his cancer was definitely, and I shouldn't be saying this because it's terrible for me to speak this because I know a lot of people don't want to talk about this, but I do believe it was linked to that. You know what I'm saying? And I know other people who had the boosters, and it was linked to that. It's like the boost. Once you get a booster, you put yourself in the danger zone. Did you see that?
I think when anyone gets a forced experimental substance injected into their body, I think there's cause for alarm. But anyway, I'm glad that part of my life is over. Now I have time I joined the Jewish Voice for Peace in Albuquerque, and we go and get together and do stuff. At least I feel like I'm connected to other kindred spirits. I don't believe we're going to cause change in the world like I did when I was in my 20s, but at least I'm connecting with others. I do different actions, and I'm involved in my community, and that's what I'm doing now. But I'm from New York City. My parents were peace and justice fighters from the 50s, and I grew up, they took me to rallies and protests, and I was very much aware of things. Like we were saying before, how do you deal with the lies that you're taught when you're growing up and going to school? Well, it is ultimately, I know this is cliche, but the only defense you have against the lies of the state are your parents telling you the truth. And I know that doesn't happen very often, but I was very fortunate that my parents knew the truth, and I grew up in that environment. So I was immune to the bullshit, and I knew the bullshit, but that's rare. That's rare. So I was lucky, and I did the same with my kids. And that's all you can do is counter the lies and the bullshit. And it works if you grow up in that environment. So my family was dysfunctional in many ways, but at least I didn't have those things to deal with, That's all you can do,
Can I ask you a question? You said you talked for Jewish Voices for Peace. You are Jewish, right?
I'm from a Jewish background, but I'm a lifelong atheist.
Yes, but I mean, the Jewish Voices for Peace movement, I think, is great because it's about Jews speaking out against Zionists, and that's why I am so. I don't know what the word to use is. I feel so strongly about pointing out the differences between Judaism and Zionism, because I do see a confliction between the two, and it's amazing to me that a lot of people aren't seeing this, right? Like they think it's okay when Dan Bilzerian talks about Randy Fine and says that fat Jew. Now, Randy Fine is a disgusting human being because he's a disgusting Zionist that think that that all kids from Gaza should be killed. But don't you see the harm? I mean, I'd love to hear your opinion while I got you on the air in here. When he says that fat Jew, that's very, very bad. And if you look at World War II, none of the Jewish supremacists were really killed. It was all the everyday average Jewish people, because they were able to dupe the people and to make you believe that just the Jews were the ones who were the targets, right? But it was the everyday Jews that got killed. So, I mean, I'd love to hear your opinion on that. Since you speak for Jewish Voices
as far
for
as the
Peace.
Jewish, yeah. Well, the Jewish thing really is there's a gradation of Jewishness, and it's a personal thing how you relate to your Jewishness. So I'm a Jew by, I guess, association or bloodline or whatever the heck it is, whatever culture.
Italians have that same kind of mindset too, by the way. Italians, we all have that.
What was that?
Hey, we're Italian. We're proud to be
so,
Italian. Hey, you're a Jew. You're proud to be a Jew. I get that. That doesn't bother me. Go ahead.
The religion is something different. The Zionism is a philosophy of hatred and I call them sadistic freaks. I use that term a lot lately. It covers all bases. But that's different than the religion. And so most Americans are not very smart, and most Americans do not have the critical thinking skills and emotional intelligence that are needed to decipher these things. So basically there's not, Zionism and Judaism are completely different entities. So if you understand that, there's no issue there. And I would see people in chats, even in, quote unquote, good meaning chats, throwing the word these Jews and it's the Jew peoples. And it's not Jewish people that are doing anything. It's people that are horrible sadistic freaks that, back the horrible sadistic freaks that are the issue. Their religious connection and whatever cultural connections are irrelevant. So there's two separate entities, Judaism and Zionism, completely. And once you understand that, that's not such a challenge, really.
No.
So, and Jewish Voice for Peace, well, it's just a group of, go ahead.
No, I was going to finish that last thought you were going to say, please.
Yeah, Jewish Voice for Peace is just a group that I connected with because I have a connection to the Jewish part of my background. And they're a group that have been around for a while, and they're doing things. They do activities and actions. They're involved in many different things. And I figured, hey, this would be a nice bunch of people. And not everybody in that group is Jewish, by the way. Interesting, or from a Jewish background. But it's, just a bunch of people doing stuff that are good.
Look, I understand. We understand that there's been a conflation of Judaism and Zionism, right? Like the Zionists are trying to tie it to one and the same. Zionism is Judaism, and it's not, right? Fred even said Judaism is not Zionism. That's what you just explained. So I do tip my hat off. Look, Katie Halper, who on Wednesday, her show is on before mine on WBAI New York. Katie Halper, her rhetoric and her belief on COVID was just ridiculous. The woman was wearing a mask months after the COVID had already been, we'd already kind of dropped all the protocols and all that stuff. And it was just awful. But I do tip my hat off for any Jewish person who pushes back from the programming they have. Aaron Mate, Max Blumenthal, I give them credit. Katie Halper, I don't agree with them a lot of stuff, but I give them.
We lost Pasta. Hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
Let's see what happened. He just dropped.
Yeah. Well, on his, what he was saying is it's very hard to wrap your mind around the fact that some people that are so brilliant can actually have a thought about, can actually not be brilliant on other things. It's very,
COVID, right?
It's very disconcerting for someone like Katie Halper, who's phenomenal in so many ways, to wear the mask and to accept the bullshit. It's just very difficult to accept that.
I'm going to get myself in trouble here too as well. I'm going to talk about Nick Cruz, who I love, who is still supporting the Green Party, and the Green Party was awful when it came to COVID. Awful.
Yeah, I remember when they rigged their own fucking primary, so I didn't forget that shit.
The Black Caucus, and they got rid of that dude when he came out and started talking out against the COVID jab. They were awful. So, and that's the thing. If you're not a true anti-imperialist unless you're pushing back against the COVID protocols, because they are imperialists themselves. Right. You're not a true imperialist.
You can't. It's like cafeteria style anti-imperialism, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. And talking about parties, I know we're going all over the place, and if you want me to get out of here, I will. But I also feel, cafeteria style again. I'm against the system. I'm anti-imperialist, this and that. But please vote. Oh, but vote for the Greens. Oh, no. Some things it's all or nothing at all. This cafeteria style stuff to me is, I'm going to accept this part of the bullshit, but I'm not going to accept that part of the bullshit. To me is bullshit. And I have no tolerance for it. I'm sorry.
No, I hear you. But listen, there has to be a little bit of tolerance. That's why we're doing this show. So we can get people to come on and get them to see what's going on. I think a lot of people, Lady Alex, are kind of a little bit closer than we think, right? Because we do just see all the bullshit and all these people digging their heels in. The whole, oh my God, they're picking on Dr. Fauci again. That kind of shit drove me crazy. But I don't believe that's the majority of people out there. I just believe they're highlighting those people so we kind of stay in this state of frustration. You know what I'm saying, lady?
Yeah.
I didn't mean lady like lady. I meant like Lady Alex, and I was cutting.
Just call me Alex. That's my name, by the way.
Alex. Okay. Well, you're Lady Alex on the thing. So now I know to call you Alex. Is it Alexandra or just Alex?
Alexandra, yeah.
I love it. The New Yorker. What part of New Yorker? What part of New York, by the way?
Born in the Bronx, grew up in New York, in Manhattan, and lived and did time in Brooklyn.
Nice. Did you care at all about the New York Knicks winning?
I don't give a fuck about pro sports.
Bread and circuses. Right. Alex is just cutting it straight over here on drive time in the morning.
I have to curse. I mean, come on. I'm from New York City. I cursed all my life. What, am I going to stop cursing?
I know. Well, I care about the fucking Knicks, Alex. So, sorry.
That's all right.
I do.
I understand.
Good character team. Good boys. We got to see their opinions. So we'll see. Alex, we're getting that out of here. It's 9:52. I'm going to start wrapping up the show.
Everybody.
I got plumbers coming. I got a lot of things coming. Hey, listen, Alex, thank you so much for calling in, your first time calling in. I hope you become a regular when you call in. If not, we'll see you in the chat. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Where did you find the show, by the way?
Well, I've known about you for years and years and years, and then I just get these, pop-ups of different shows and such, and I went, oh.
Nice.
You know I'm blushing here. I'm turning purple. I'm turning the same color as my shirt because you said you've known about me for years and years and years. And I just learned about you, Lady Alex. Thank you so much for calling on in. And thank you for support.
Okay, everybody.
That means a lot.
Peace, love, and fuck the empires.
That's right.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
You got to get that on a shirt. Peace, love, and fuck the empire.
And fuck the empires.
I can't speak too loud. The kids out there, if I start cursing, I'm going to get in trouble. That was Lady Alex. Thank you so much for calling. Alexandra, the New Yorker who living in New Mexico, retired now, VA nurse, did some psych work over there, has a lot of great things to say. That's the awesome thing about this show, right? Like I wanted to start a daytime call-in show because I wanted a show where I can wear my sunglasses on during the day, and I can do that because it's morning drive time, and that's fun. But in all seriousness, I wanted to talk about the things the mainstream media was not talking about it. I wanted to take it to you so that therefore you, thank you so much. That's so awesome. And it's to hear their voice for the first time from somebody who's been following you for years.
I love the sound of New York voices who curse a lot. Just putting that out there.
I know. I love it too. And just the definition of privileged. I get choked up. Thank you so much. Hearing that. I told Fiorella that when I was in Peru. I said, Fee, I talked to these people and they're like, I asked them, how'd you find the show? Oh, I've been following you for years. I know about you for years. And you and Fee are awesome. And it's amazing to have that. Truly blessed, truly privileged. I'm going to put my sunglasses on so you don't see me cry. getting all choked up and read the final monologue and get us out of here. I got plumbers coming. I got no hot water in the house in some parts of the house.
Oh, no.
How do you rent out a house without any hot water? Just kidding. I love the guy who owns the house. I love the family who owns the house. They rented this house to me because I love them, and I told them I'm going to take care of the beautiful house. My nephew is here. It's kind of awesome. Him and every other week he'll be here. I'm going to be able to get him up for school and get him out the door to start. He's got to be out the door before 7 o'clock, before 8 o'clock, before the show starts. So hopefully I'll be able to get him up in the mornings, get him rocking and rolling. I can't wait to see him just go to school. He's such a smart kid, such a great kid. He loves Mario and it's just going to be a lot of fun. And seeing my mom wheeling around this house is a lot of space. We had a dinner party the other day. She was all excited. And, me and my sister are just working together as a team. So it's kind of cool that we got to do that, and I'm blessed. And I got this show and my little studio here, which I don't know if you hear, Josh, I put a carpet in. I started it with a carpet, so maybe it's less echoey. Yeah, right. So the carpet's here. We'll get some few things on the wall to get some more sound, and we'll get it down. I'm gonna go probably low, like Tim Dillon style. What do you think? Instead of the high thing, I'm gonna go low and get a little bit more radio style. Who knows?
Let's try it out. See what happens.
Yeah. We saw Dave come into the chat late. Dave, we were talking about you earlier. Thank you so much for all the knowledge you bring and you drop. And thank you to everybody in the chat. Guys, all the links down below to help us out. Go over to the Patreon. You don't have to necessarily put in any dollars in there, but you could at least join for free. And we'd love you to do that. And we want to build the Patreon. I want to send a special thanks out to our producer. And I say our producer because she is the head producer of this show, Gabrielle Freedom. We're working on ways to get the show better, different areas. I want a special thanks to Sleepy J, who ran it with me today. Thank you, Sleepy, for getting up nice and early. You've probably been on your Mountain Dew for about an hour. Got to get you off that Mountain Dew.
Correct.
We need to get something other than
I drink one a day. I drink one a day. That's it.
We got to get Sleepy off the Mountain Dew altogether.
Hey, I quit the energy drinks.
Energy drinks. All right, great. So now you can quit the Mountain Dew. We'll find something to replace it. We'll find something good. I got to quit the Mexican Cokes. That's my thing, right? When I slip, I do Mexican Cokes, except I'm supposed to be today starting a whole big diet. Let's go back. Let's do all these protocols. Let's take all these, this last push. I think Fred's going to send me something for my legs too as well. This last push to get rid of all this this inflammation, this stuff. This is the last push to get it all out of me. Doing it more the functional way. My good friend Miriam Hanan Mimi has been a big part of helping me out. Chris Romero, who I call Lidaga. I wish he was listening to the show. I got to reach out to him. I call him Lidaga. Lidaga was the name of Bruce Lee in the movie Blood In and Blood Out. It means big brother. I call him Lidaga. He does some acupuncture on me too as well. So I'm working Chinese medicine with Lidaga. I'm working functional medicine with Mimi, Miriam Hanan. And I do, on occasions, keep an eye on the Western medicine, and I always have prednisone on me just in case the flare-ups get a little bit crazy. I can take a little prednisone, but I don't want to take it if I don't have to. And I've been able to get away from those drugs, and that's very important. And I hope you out there are finding natural ways to repair your bodies, to increase your vitality, your lifelong whatnot. Eat good food. I'm going to certainly make good food, and that's one thing I've also been staying away from quite a bit. You got to the fast food out there, ladies and gentlemen. I know if your life's on the go, the processed fast food, you got to stay away from that shit. It sits in your body dormant, waiting to strike, and it will show its ugly face at the worst time when you're most vulnerable. Because that's what the Chinese medicine teaches you: your emotions and different things. If you're thinking too much about the future, your anxiety. If you're thinking too much about the past, right? You get depressed. You're only at peace when you're thinking in the present, and that's very important. And these you can actually cause illnesses to your body from your emotions. That's what the Chinese believe, and they're all about repairing the organs. Let's get to the final wrap-up of the show. Maestro, when you get the music.
It's on.
So as we wrap up today's show, let's take a moment to reflect on the importance of diversity of thought and the peace we can cultivate with our neighbors. In a world that often feels divided, it's our differences that can actually bring us together. Every unique perspective, every story shared, enriches our collective experience and fosters understanding. Remember, it's okay to disagree. It's how we handle those disagreements that truly matters. Let's embrace dialogue over debate, compassion over conflict. When we listen to one another, we open the door to meaningful relationships. By engaging with our diverse communities, we can find common ground and build bridges that promote peace. So I encourage you to reach out to someone with a different viewpoint. Share a meal, have a conversation, or simply just listen. Let's create a ripple effect of kindness and understanding in our neighborhoods and beyond. Hey, thanks for calling in today. Remember, together we can celebrate our diversity and pave the way for a brighter, more peaceful future. So until next time, let's keep the dialogue flowing and that peace growing. For Craig Pasta Jardula, Sleepy J on the ones and twos, I want to thank all the people who called in. Lady Alex, Snorky earlier, Fred Edward, thank you so much. I love you guys. I want to thank Gabrielle Freedom, our producer. She's always in the chat doing double duty. Thank you so much to all you out there. I see you all. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget it. Peace.